Coming up on Network Africa. Gunmen opened fire on a bus in Egypt, killing at least 26 Coptic Christians. Zambia expelled South Africa's opposition leader, Mmusi Maimane, blocking him from attending Hakainde Hichilema's treason case. And UN officials visiting South Sudan call for peace so as to get aid to civilians. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Joke Rogers. We begin today in North Africa, where at least 26 people have been killed and 25 others wounded after gunmen opened fire on a bus carrying Coptic Christians in central Egypt. The incident occurred in Minya province, about 220 kilometers south of the capital, Cairo, as the bus headed to the monastery of St. Samuel. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack, but there have been a number of attacks on Copts in recent months claimed by Islamic State militants. Last month, 2 suicide bombings targeting churches left 46 people dead. The attacks prompted President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to declare a nationwide state of emergency and promises to do whatever is necessary to confront jihadists. South Africa's opposition leader, Mmusi Maimane, has been expelled from Zambia, blocking him from attending the treason case of his detained counterpart, Hakainde Hichilema. Reports say police boarded Mr. Maimane's flight and forcefully prevented him from entering Zambia. Mr. Maimane had planned to show solidarity with Zambia's main opposition leader, Hakainde Hichilema, who appeared in court today. In reply, the Zambian High Commissioner in South Africa says Mr. Maimane was stopped from entering Zambia because of concerns that he would interfere with the treason case against his Zambian counterpart. Mr. Emmanuel Wamba says the government was concerned by a statement he made before he traveled, where he said he would put pressure on Zambian courts to release Mr. Hichilema. Mr. Hichilema was charged with treason for his convoy after his convoy allegedly refused to make way for President Edgar Lungu's motorcade while both were traveling to a ceremony in western Zambia. Meanwhile, South African President Jacob Zuma has issued a statement to clarify that he is not opposed to setting up an inquiry into corruption in his government, despite going to court to challenge the report that recommended the commission. Last year, a report from South Africa's anti-corruption body, the Public Protector's Office, into the influence of wealthy businessmen on the presidents found evidence of possible corruption. It recommended a judicial commission of inquiry within 30 days, which has not happened. A statement from the president's office says that what Mr. Zuma is challenging is not the idea of inquiry, but rather the fact that under the Constitution he cannot be ordered to set it up. It says this undermines the separation of powers doctrine. Let's get more on this story from our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia, who joins us live from Johannesburg. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joke.
Do we know why the president is saying that he's not opposed to a corruption inquiry at this time, despite the fact that he's in court challenging the probe?
I can't say people know why. It's only the president who can say that. But a lot of people believe that a lot is being said about him leaving office, and people believe it's strategically placed for him to release this at this point, especially at the beginning of the NEC meeting, which starts today. The NEC is the highest decision-making body of the ANC in between conferences, and recently the stalwarts, that's the veterans of the party, sent an open letter asking them to do the right thing and recall the president, among other things, apart from a consultative conference as well. So he is not against the probe. As you said, he's questioning the fact that the former public protector is trying to usurp the role of the executive, that it's his own place to set up the inquiry the way he wants, to dictate whether it's a judicial commission of inquiry or not. But there's another side. The issue surrounds the president as well. So it would be funny if he has to choose who is going to look at a case where his name has been cropping up. But people believe, some of the analysts say probably he's trying to show that he's doing something and sway some sentiments towards him as well.
Earlier this week that ANC leaders would gather this weekend to discuss the president's removal as the party head. Could this be why, probably the reason why he's soft-pedaling?
I really can't say that, but they're meeting. A lot of things have happened, so they're meeting. And also next month we have the policy conference, a huge conference taking place around Soweto for the party. So I wouldn't know if it's because of that. Some are alluding to that fact that, you know, there's so much division, so he wants to show that he's doing something about this. But I can't really say, you know, speak for the president, but the general feeling is that the division is just so much that we don't even know what's going on. But the agenda of the party is expected to be made known or made public to journalists by probably the Secretary General tomorrow. But the meeting begins today.
Let's talk about the South Africa opposition leader, Mmusi Maimane, who was expelled from Zambia. How is the opposition leader and his Democratic Alliance party reacting to this development?
Not just the party, the whole country is reacting to it as well. But today, interestingly, you had a protest of Zambians outside the Zambian High Commission in Pretoria. On one side, you had those who support President Edgar Lungu. You had those who support the opposition leader who is being charged for treason or so. So he briefed the media, giving reasons why, and as you read in the earlier report, where he said that the government felt threatened, that he threatened to undermine their own judiciary and the peace that they've enjoyed over the past 50 years or so, and he said Mr. Maimane is welcome to the country anytime, but that he had been advised to postpone that meeting because they didn't want any pressure, as he said he would. In the ambassador's words, he quoted Maimane as saying, "I will put pressure on the judiciary to release Hakainde Hichilema." But there, and while the ambassador was briefing, Maimane arrived and he said, "Maimane is here to see me and I will speak with him." But Maimane addressed the protesters outside, talking about dictators, saying that President Lunga is heading that way to be one of the dictators in the country, in the continent, and that people should reject that. And he's also demanding that his own government, that the South African government should demand answers from the Zambian government, you know, the reason why he was not allowed to go and show solidarity to his friend. He claims that HH, as he called him, is his own friend, and he was just going to the court to show solidarity in him.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts on that. South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dipia speaking to us live from Johannesburg.